All right, good morning, world. Pretty cool place to sleep. It's kind of sunrise. Forecast is for a lot of clouds, but I've got a lot of blue sky right now. So I guess we'll see how we do. As luck would have it, the clouds coming in last night looked really like it was going to rain. Forecast said not, but I wasn't sure. So I pulled out my roll of plastic. The plastic still had a little bit of moisture in it from a couple days ago when I had my head under the covers and was blowing vapor in. So that plastic, or the water, transferred from the plastic to the sleeping bag. Didn't really affect me last night, but now I'm looking at the bottom half is all wet and frosty. I think it's just on the surface. It's actually not even on the backside so much. So I'm going to leave this out as long as I can and let the sun kind of bake it out a little bit. Last thing you want is a wet sleeping bag, especially on your feet, because that's where my feet are always cold. Anyway, so yeah, it's 7 o'clock right now, so there's the sun right on time. I think I'm about 40 miles still from Page, which is my next waypoint. Man, yesterday was so frustrating. It was cloudy in the morning, so I couldn't push as hard. And then about the time the clouds, literally as the clouds went away, the wind kicked up. So I was fighting with the wind for probably another 10 miles. And by 3 o'clock, it was blowing me off the road. A couple times I hit the weeds, and I'm like, okay, that's it, I'm done. And while I was setting up camp in here, I realized that I had cell phone signal, but not very good, so I kind of walked up the hill, and the cell phone was working a lot better up there. So I go ahead and edit the video from yesterday and was uploaded it, and while I'm up there on the hill uploading the video, this I called it the swarm of tumbleweeds comes flying past me. I mean, they blew up the bank from the highway and just exploded on the fence all around me. Scared the crap out of me because I'm looking at the phone, right? First thing I thought it was a bunch of dogs or something chasing me because I can hear dogs barking. There's farm over there, and I think a farm over there, and another one over there somewhere. So I'm, out here, there's a house almost every mile. So I figure they must have, given each person, what would that be? Each person would get a section, so a mile by a mile or something like that, because it's pretty evenly distributed sometimes. So you're riding along looking for a quiet place to set up, and it's like, oh, there's another house, So anyway, good for them, not so good for me. So it actually felt warmer last night than it has been, but that's still some frost on the moisture, so it must have froze, but it's not super cold. I think it's probably right at 32 right now. Forecast said not below 45. That's kind of what it felt like. It didn't feel as cold. It'd be nice to get into warmer weather. I wanted to get a shot of this too. These little purple guys are everywhere in the bank, on the sides of the roads and stuff. I don't know what they are. They're really pretty though. Probably poisonous or something. Okay, 8:20, ready to hit the road. At the moment, there's no wind at all. I'm still all bundled up though. I think once I get going, just any forward speed is gonna feel cold, so. Overall, a beautiful day though. A little bit of clouds behind me, but blue sky in front. Let's hope that lasts. Okay, 9 o'clock and all is well. Couple little rolly hills, couple bigger rolly hills.
more trees again. It's just so random. You know, I've only gotten about 6 miles since I left camp, and that was an hour, so I wasn't going real fast. Got some cows over there. Wind is starting to kick up. I think it's more of a tailwind at the moment, but I'm about to turn, so it'll be a crosswind. It's cold. Still cold. The sun feels nice on my face. That's the only thing that's exposed. Anyway, just grinding it out. Sure is nice to see the blue sky though. Not sure if it's going to show up. I spooked a herd of cattle over there. They're all trotting into the distance. Apparently they've never seen something like this before. It's gone about 9 miles already this morning. Just a quick pit stop. Got the bike leaned up against the rock. It's getting a good charge. Yeah, it's that rolling hill problem again. Without regen, I'm not catching any of the energy going down. I get the wobble when I go too fast. And then I can't coast until I get to the hill. So you waste a lot of power that you wouldn't have to otherwise. And I'm pushing the headwind again. Looked at the forecast, and from what I can see, the headwind will drop down just about the time the clouds come in this afternoon. Yeah, can't win. Tomorrow looks better, I think, though. I needed a snack stop anyway. Happened to look over and saw this. I actually was sitting still for a few minutes before I noticed. This is just really cool. I know somewhere there is a giant arch that looks like that, but in case I don't see it, we'll get this little one instead. But look, there's like algae or something growing out of the rock, right? It's kind of weird. A little lizard right in the middle of the frame. You won't see him unless he moves again. Anyway, he's pretty good at hide and seek. Kind of a sand god. Anyway, yeah. It's neat. I mean, some areas you have really tiny little layers, and other layers that's just really big and thick. So it's not consistent at all. You might see him moving now. He just grabbed a bug. We're below 6,000 feet. That means something, I guess. Yeah. Things have really opened up in the last few miles. It's definitely not flat, but it's a lot more rolly, gentle rolly, I guess. No trees though. Just realized I hadn't recorded anything, so here we are in a Walmart. We're gonna get stocked up, a couple soups, a couple chilies. Gonna eat those in the parking lot, I think. And some survival cookies, you know, just because. Anyway, we are in Page, Arizona. Finally. I felt like I should have been here a few days ago, but yeah, these are the good ones. Yep, that should be it. I dropped from 6,500 feet today down to 4,300 feet. Yeah, all of a sudden it got warm. I was like, oh, this is nice. Alive and well. Okay, we came in on Highway 98 and we're going out on Highway 89. I'll go up into Utah for a little bit, and then I'm not sure exactly, but we'll end up in St. George eventually. Cool. I'm going to take a chance. I'm pretty sure it's Lake Powell here at Page, Arizona. So there's a bridge there. Just above the bridge is the dam. They're damming up the Colorado River. When I was coming into town, I think I saw water once, but I don't know if they're still in drought or whatever, but Last year, a lot of these dams were just about empty, so I have no idea. Looks like maybe there's a place to park up there because I see some cars stopped by the bridge, so I'll get a shot from down there. Okay, yonder bridge, transformers, hydro dam. Cool. Water. Well, it doesn't look super low, considering I just rode across the desert. I haven't seen that much water in quite a while. Okay, we saw. Let's get out of here. Honestly, after Walmart, I am pretty much done with people for about another week, I think. Okay, the bridge is there. Pretty good hill coming up. Made it fine, no problem. Almost at the top. I see a little turnoff here, so let's check it out. I want to apologize. I did us all a great disservice when I shot the video of the dam from below. As I was going across the bridge, I realized how truly high it actually is, but I couldn't get a shot of it. So it's super high. Be interesting to check it out on like Wikipedia or something like that. I would think it's close to Hoover Dam height. It's just not quite as wide, but it's a super deep gorge there. So I remember seeing pictures of this before. You got all these little fingers going everywhere. So it's really deep, but not very wide in a lot of spots. Would be kind of cool to have a boat. Go check it out. Not this trip though. Now it's about 3:30. I almost decided to stop and camp here. It maybe would have been a good idea if I would have really thought about it, because it's 3:30 now. I could stop at 4 o'clock and be fine, but if I can get a few more miles, all the better. So if I don't push enough miles, I should have plenty of food and make St. George. I think it's less than 200 miles from here, so. And there's dollar stores along the way. Got a stock of Cliff Bars. I didn't feel like unloading everything to repack, so I just kind of jammed stuff in there. Yeah, good to go. And even with the clouds, I mean, there's the sun. We're still getting a charge, so it's not outstanding, but it's working. And I think once I get on top here, I don't know, I don't even want to speculate on climbs anymore. Shouldn't be too bad though. Well, it's about 4 p.m. right on right now. I'm just starting to look for a place to set up. I went by a truck stop. I was really tempted, but then I remembered I was only 2 miles from Utah, so I figured out we might as well cross the line. So we're going to be zigzagging now. I think the way it's going to work out, we'll cross into Utah now. We'll run for a day or two, back into Arizona for a day, and then back into Utah for St. George, just the way the roads go. There's kind of a road on either side, but I was looking at the terrain, and I think if I zigzag back and forth, it's a little bit further, but not as high. And I've never been right about that yet, so we'll see how that turns out. Anywho, no wind at all right now. The clouds have been pretty much constant since afternoon. But I think the best travel hack from today was I bought a package of hot dogs at the Walmart, and they're pre-cooked, right? So I just ate the whole package in the parking lot. It's like, that was so satisfying. So wrong and so good at the same time. Okay, guess now we go. Yeah, another 50 feet from the highway, pretty good. Decent enough view, a handful of flies, shouldn't be too bad. We are in Utah. Looks remarkably the same at the moment. Yeah. I was eyeing the wash, but I thought, well, on the odd chance it does actually rain, I wouldn't want to end up back in Arizona or wherever this would flow to. Would probably get a good look at the dam, though, eventually. Anyway, kind of gave up on stealth camping today. There ain't nothing stealthy big enough to hide behind out here. I probably would have been just about as good at the truck stop. There was a pilot about a mile back. I actually stopped on the highway and looked down at it, and there really wasn't a good spot for me to set up there without being, either on the property where they'd ask me to leave, or off the property and look like I was trying to hide. It's better if you just like plant yourself in the middle and say, this is where I'm going to be, and see what happens. There's a lot of tracks. I'm going to guess probably off-road vehicles. There's like a 2-track that follows the fence line for miles, and you can maybe see it. I don't know if it'll show up on camera. So all the way down, there's like a pretty well-worn 2-track that runs all the way along the highway. So I would think 4-wheelers and Jeeps and dune buggies and stuff are ripping around out there. So yeah, I don't know if I'm on tribal land at the moment. Inside the fence is parkland, National Park Services for Lake Powell. And thinking about it, if I really would have been on the ball, I would have realized that was a national park there, and I looked into it before I went past it. It did say camping, but I don't know if there was any tent spots available, and from the gate it looked like it was 5 miles into the campsite. And I'm like, I don't want to go 5 miles the wrong way, And then at the top of the hill I realized it was already 3:30, and I'm like, well, shoot, I'm not even going to get very far. So now it's about 4:30. I'm getting some charge through the clouds. Not a whole lot. It's got a ways to go, so I don't know how much we'll get, but at least getting out of here will be more or less downhill for the first mile or two. So if the sun is setting that way, sunrise will be that way. So worst case, if I sit here till 9 in the morning and top off a little bit, then we'd be fine anyway. So yeah. It has been cold and cold and cold and cold, and all of a sudden now it's warm. I was wearing the sweatshirt while I was riding still because there is enough breeze, but I'm at so much lower elevation than I have been, so this feels kind of nice. It's probably still going to get cold overnight, be in the desert, but at least I'm not at 6,500 feet. I think I'm below 4,000 feet now, which should make quite a difference. So it'll be interesting to see how I ride tomorrow at lower elevation, because I've been riding at high elevation, and that's supposed to be harder. I mean, your body just doesn't function as good if you get higher, thinner air or whatever. Although on the flip side, if it's thinner air, you should have less wind resistance. I don't think it works quite that way, though. I just remembered what I was going to get at the Walmart. I was going to look to see if I could find a cordless beard trimmer or something like that. I've got one at home that I didn't bring, and the reason I didn't bring it is I would need somewhere to plug it in to charge it, and that would have been the only thing I needed the inverter for. So I decided against it. I think what I'll do the next time I go for a motel, probably Vegas, I'm going to stay a couple days and make that a down day. So if I do that, then I'll find a Motel 6 near a Walmart or something and get a trimmer there. And I was going to do a haircut before I left, and I forgot. So I'm hoping by then it's warmer. Then I'll shave my head and shave my beard, and it'll be easier on the road too. So anyway, yeah. So this is about the time I would have shaved it already. I am officially not growing a beard. I'm just not shaving. Yeah. Anyway, as always, thanks for all the comments and support, and appreciate you guys following along on the ride. Don't forget what we're doing this for. trying to help out a bunch of veterans. The way it's working this year is I'm kind of calling this the prototype here. First, I'm going to prove I can do it, and if it goes well, and so far it is going well, then next year we'll go after some bigger sponsors and try to set up some kind of maybe an organization or something like that. I had a lot of great ideas for this, and I just ran out of time. So the other thing was I didn't want to go out and get a bunch of sponsors, like, big sponsors, like, Chunky Soup and Cliff Bars or somebody like that, and then get 2 miles off the ranch and realize I just really didn't want to do it. But now that I've been out for a couple weeks, I think it's going well enough that I would feel better about going and looking for sponsorship. So something along the lines of helping to put vets and bikes together and form local riding clubs, and instead of just telling them what to do, give them something better to do. Yeah, anyway, so that's the idea. But if you guys have any ideas about something like that, if you're involved with any organizations or something like that, hit me up in the comments, and I'll try to figure out some more of the details later. Okay, that's it. It's been a long day. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. I don't think I've got coverage here, but I'll take a look. Bye for now.